Hey, pipe smokers. Smoking a Kamoy bent billiard Dublinish. With some fourth generation evening flake. I just did a video, but I'm gonna redo it because I thought I was a little long-winded. I kind of want to just keep it short. But this is going to be just a Muletown recap. Kind of go through my acquisitions. Finishing off some whiskey samples. There's like one little bit of sip from that. Alright, let's get started. I don't want to go on too long. First off, I brought this with me to open up a couple months ago. I got this around Christmas time at an antique shop. It's a Kentucky Club pipe and cigarette tobacco. It was sealed, still full, and super dry, man, but it smells super good. I had a bowl of it. Smoked great, tasted great. I'm gonna maybe try my hand at rolling and maybe roll a cigarette out of it and see how it goes. But I'll bring that with me to Chicago if anyone's interested in trying it. But yeah, I rode down with Nate and Justin from the Pipes, Pours, and Pals podcast. We stayed in a Verbo. It was a nice house with a back covered, screened in porch and a hot tub that we didn't get to use because it was kind of storming, and just being there for the show, we didn't spend a whole lot of time at the house, which might change next year. I think we're going to try getting there a day earlier and leave a day later, so that way we can kind of really enjoy the house that we're renting. And they have a chess set, like a big yard chess set with checkers too, and that was pretty fun to play. Had ping pong, had a huge yard. I mean, it'd been great to play like wiffle ball or something. That might be a fun activity for next year. But it was a good time. The house was me, Justin, Nate, Mrs. Codger, Mrs. Coffee Pot Codger. I'm not sure what she goes by, and then Carly and Stacy from here in Bespoke Works, and Russ, our buddy Russ from the Indiana Pipe Club. All these people have been mentioned on the Pipes, Pours, and Pals podcast, I'm sure. So, but yeah, it was a great time. We did, had dinner and breakfast, and got to share a lot of meals together there and some drinks, and it was a great time at the house and just hanging out. So I just wish we had more time to spend there to kind of enjoy it. But next year I think might be better, because we like to spend a lot of time at Briarworks and at the pipe show and visit with people that you don't get to see very often. But it's also nice to have a place to go to kind of like call home for the weekend and enjoy all the stuff that's there. But let's get right into everything that I got. So I had a pretty good show this year, I think. I feel like I normally do pretty well. I'm able to get at least a couple pipes, some tobacco, and this year I did pretty good on both. So I think Friday night we're at the Verbo getting ready for bed and stuff, and Nate's showing me some of the stuff that he's that he brought to sell or trade, and he whipped out 4 pouches of Carter Hull, and so I snagged these from him. I was like, I enjoy Carter Hull. I miss the days when they came in a box and not just the tub. So I like the pouch, throwing it in your pipe case, and take it. This is one of my favorite tobaccos to take, like fishing or hiking or something. Something to smoke and not really worry about too much. Here's a pipe maker, artisan pipe maker, Xander Pipes. His pipes are great. I really did like looking at his work. Just a little bit out of my price range for this show, for this year. But he did have some tins that he was selling. Both that I've been wanting to try, and just either they sell out quick or something like that. This one I see online more regularly. The Black Double X. This is from 2019. So excited to get into that one. And then this one, it's always sold out. Every time there's a drop, it's always gone quick. So this is a St. James Flake, also by Sam Gawith. And then Ben at Redeem Pipes he always has a great spread of pipes. From artisan pipes to factory pipes, just any price range you can think of, like from his bins that are like $10, $25 pipes, to I think he had a J. Allen pipe, I think he even had a Bowden, was it a Bow Nord or no, it was an S-Bang. He had an S-Bang on his table for like $1,800 or something like that. So I mean, literally, one end of the spectrum to the next. It's just some crazy cool looking pipes. But he had a lot of tobacco this year too, which is nice. So I grabbed a couple tins of Full Virginia Flake, one from 2012 and the other from 2013. So this is one of my favorite blends with that amount of age on it. I have one other from 2012, and then I have a couple jars that are 2009 that I'm going through. So I'm excited to pop these open in a couple years or so. Also from Ben, I grabbed a Scottish Robert McConnell Scottish cake. I always hear the Scottish Flake's really good. Scotch cake is probably similar, but snag that. I'm not sure the year. I'm assuming 2020 or something like that. 2022 maybe, probably. And then the Pipery always has tobacco, and they always have a good amount of aged stuff, like 5 to 10 years or even older. So this is probably 5 years or so. This is a Wessex Gold Virginia Flake. So I've had a couple Wessex blends, and I enjoy them. I think they're good. So this one I haven't really heard much about. It's usually like the dark, or the Campaign, which is the dark flake, and even the Burley Slice. Those are the ones that are kind of hard to come by. And then this was a gift from Nate King, Robert McConnell Maduro. I delivered some stickers to him from a guy here in our club that does stickers and stuff, and he wasn't able to make it to the show, so I delivered the stickers to Nate, and he gave me this tin for my trouble. So I mean, Nate, I will deliver stickers to you anytime. But this is looks like an older tin, so it's probably early 2000s, maybe late 90s, I don't know. So I'm excited to crack that open, probably at a future pipe show. And then I got a few pipes. So my first pipe I purchased this show was Ben at Redeem Pipes. I I sent him some pipes a few months ago and got a store credit, and I was waiting for, see what he posts, online, and it got closer to mealtime. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till mealtime so that way I can look at the pipes, hold the pipes, really look at them. And I don't have buyer's remorse on this one, but after I bought it and then like went and looked at his table again, and I saw another pipe that I was like, oh, I must have missed that one, because I probably would have grabbed that one instead. And even the next day, he like rotates his pipes out, puts some fresh pipes out on the table, and a couple other ones. I was like, oh man, maybe I should have waited till Sunday to buy a pipe, but I'm glad I got this one. It's an artisan that I always hear great things about, and his pipes are super affordable. Like, I always hear people saying that he should charge more for his pipes because of how good they are. But this is a Neil Monnier garage made pipe tool, I think is his Instagram. But it's a larger Lavat, and I smoked it a couple times and it smokes great. I love it. It's comfortable, and as big it being a big pipe. Don't know why I can't say that. It's easy to cleanse. But I've smoked a couple times and I enjoy it. It's a cool rustication. I went back through his Instagram and actually found his initial post after he made it. So I'm curious on who actually bought this for the first time. I think he made it back in 2023. And then on Sunday, I always like to look at the other estate sellers. Richard of Mad Pipes. He always has some really cool historical pieces. And both these are very similar. I couldn't decide which one I wanted, so I went with both. And so this was an Yvonne Rees Liverpool, maybe. I'm not sure what shape this is. It's like a wide oval shank, kind of the size of a Lavat. So I think it is a Liverpool, but I could be completely wrong. A little bit of oxidation on it because I had smoked it a couple times, but he had that shiny black, which I'm gonna try keeping up on the maintenance on this stem a little bit with the pipe, the obsidian pipe oil. And then I also got this one. Is the Boots Joaquin, which I want to start collecting these. I kind of do. This is my third one, so I'm always looking for a different kind of boots shape. But I think this is also, correct me if I'm wrong, put in the comments what kind of shape this is. But I'm not really sure. But this is stamped. This is actually the Boots Joaquin Capitan. But cool grain. Some bird's eye on the shank, and then a little bit of straight grain on the bowl. But is stamped St. Claude, France, 1631. But cool pieces that I had in my collection. Was gifted some jars from Mike Lading. I always love hanging out with the Mikes from Texas, Mike Lading and Rocket Mike. They're just really funny old guys, But Mike had some jars of tobacco in the back of his van that he was giving away if you wanted. So I looked them up on some tobacco reviews and kind of see what kind of blends they were, and they're all English except for two. One is an Oriental, one is an aromatic. Boylston 7485, Royal Blend, Prince of Wales D9575, D9507, and Oriental number 40. So excited to try these eventually. I've had a few. Oh, that's kind of cool. It says Mike. It says his name on it. That's neat. It says this pipe tobacco mixture is prepared especially for Michael Lading by L.J. Peretti. That's neat. So thank you, Mike. I know you sometimes watch my videos, so I appreciate the jars. Mike also opened up a tin of University Flake from Peterson. It's a 1900. I sound like a freaking Gen Z kid. The 1900s. From 1990. That's a tin from 1990. And that was really good. It was a square tin, but it was like a rectangle. So I guess it wasn't a square tin, it was a rectangle tin, but it was, it wasn't a circle tin. That's what I'm trying to say. But you know how sometimes the flakes are like laid down, These are all like on its side, which is pretty cool how the presentation just looked beautiful. I got a tamper from Paul, Pipes of Old, Grunewald Pipes. He gifted this to me. I tried buying it from him, but he was like, I'll just take it. So thank you, Paul. Eventually, I will have a Grunewald pipe because he just makes the coolest looking, like, Lord of the Rings, church-worn, Lord of the Rings style pipes. They're beautiful. But one of my favorite things I got this weekend, 1983 tin of MacBaron Burley London Blend, better known as London Burley is what I like to just call it. This is my favorite blend. If you've been watching the channel for a while or know me personally, this is one of my favorites. Top 5 for sure. Probably top 3, I would say. Maybe even my number 1. If I really had to think about it and pick a tobacco to smoke only, it'd be this for sure. I mean, maybe not this old, but the fresh stuff I love. It's the chocolate notes. It's delicious. And I tried some from 2012 last year from Kevin Foster, and I was a little underwhelmed because it didn't have a whole lot of the cocoa notes, but it still had that nutty burley. It's still good, but I definitely preferred the fresh stuff. So I was curious on how this one was going to be. But my good buddy Nate, Indiana Nate, Pipes, Pours, and Pals, he brought this to open and share. And he was going to open it Saturday morning. We're going to have coffee probably at the house. Ended up not doing it, and then he ended up opening it Sunday morning when we first got to Briarworks and started drinking our coffee and everything, and he cracked it open. I have a video of not the initial cracking open, but when he first opened up the paper and stuff. Enjoyed had a bowl of it, and he passed it around. Other people had smoked it. I think he, offered it to people throughout the show. And then, as we dropped him off first at home before we got back to Justin's house, and we're talking, saying our goodbyes and hugs and everything. And he's like, "Here, I want you to have this." So I'm pretty stoked. So I will definitely be sharing it at Chicago if I don't smoke at all, which I shouldn't. I'm just excited to have the tin. This old tin it's a painted lid, and another thing that's kind of cool about these old tins, usually the paper is just a white paper, but this one actually says has the logo. Let's see how brown it is, and it's just it's fun to smoke old tobacco. It really is. You gotta get to a pipe show to do it, because most people have old tins that they're willing to share at pipe shows, and it's fun. I can't remember who mentioned. I heard this recently that I think it was on was it Pipes Magazine? This recent episode, I can't remember what episode it was, but someone mentioned, they don't mind trying. Maybe it was a YouTube video. It was probably a YouTube video that I saw. Anyways, it's like people always have the excuse like they don't want to try a tobacco that they can't get anymore, or is discontinued because they're afraid that they're gonna love it, and then never be able to get it again. I think it was Gary, old and in the way. He had some wise words in his last video, and he had mentioned it's better to love and lost than to not love at all. And yeah, I've heard that saying a million times, but when you think about it with tobacco, it makes a lot of sense. And so that's why I'm always down to try anything, even if it's something I can never get. One thing I regret is Sutliff had their last blend that they released called Sweated, and it was if you haven't heard of it, it was like a happy accident. They had a blend. I think it was supposed to be Kringle Flake for this year, or some kind of blend, special blend, and they saw mold, or what they thought was mold. They took the mold out, segregated the rest of the tobacco, just put it away to see what happened. The part that was moldy wasn't mold anymore, and then the tobacco looked fine, so then they put it in a port barrel for so many months, 6 months or so. Kind of forgot about it, I think, and then pressed it into cakes, and with it being or pressed into plugs, and with it being in Virginia, with the up and down humidity and hot and cold and whatever else, it just probably changed the tobacco drastically, and so that's why they called it Sweated. And they're selling it at Muletown. You could buy limited 2 pounds, and it's only $60 a pound, and then if you bought 2, you get 2 pounds for $100. But it was cash only, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because I should have went to the ATM that was probably across the street or down the road a little bit, and just got some cash, went back and got some. But I don't carry cash very often, and I think I only carried maybe $25 with me, and ended up giving it to Nate for the Carter Hall, or some of it. And so I regret not doing that, but I did get a pocket jar full of it. He did have a bag that he was letting people take samples of, so I will probably save that for a rainy day. Pocket jar holds probably 2 to 3 bowls, so I can enjoy it a couple times. And then if that's all I get, then that's all I get. But at least I'll be able to try it. So, anyways, I don't want to make this video too much longer. It's already shorter than the last video I just did. I wanted to shorten it up a little bit, but anyways, Muletown's a great show. It's it's becoming one of my favorites for sure. Chicago might be always my favorite just because it was my first show, but I'm thinking Muletown is really getting up there. yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna try naming everybody I got to hang out with, but I got to hang out with Neil Osborne a little bit. Kevin Foster, Jason Patrick, Quinn from Country Squire. All the guys from Georgia that come up. I always want to hang out with them more. There was a fun group of guys, so I got to hang out with them a little bit more this year and just kind of sit around, smoke. Got to try the University Flake that I mentioned. Some Orlick Golden Slice from the 90s was phenomenal. Tried a tobacco called Western, and it was made with Syrian Latakia. It was blended by McClellan. That was pretty good. But pipe shows are awesome. I can't wait for Chicago. I'm not gonna be able to get there until later. I always plan on going Thursday and staying until Sunday. I'm going to do. I can't get there until Saturday afternoon because of T-ball opening day. So I'm planning on getting there Saturday afternoon, and then I'm going to stay till Monday. But pipe shows are awesome. They're fun. They get to meet a lot of people. You get to try old tobacco, new tobacco, rare tobacco. So get yourself to a pipe show, and you won't regret it. One thing I want to mention, it was awesome. Paul Pipes of Old, he did a raffle. He raffled off a tin of Margate or Pembroke, one of the Esoterica blends, and I was able to raise, I think, $511 for Raphael Flat Cat Piper. So Raphael, if you see this video, hope you know we're you're all of our thoughts and everything, and we're sorry to hear about Lady Fire. And I'm glad I got to meet you both last year in Muletown and in Chicago. At least briefly, at least long enough for a good conversation. So with that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Pretty good. Go.